What if I told you that you don't need any credit history to get approved for a loan or other type of credit for that matter? Well, not only is this possible, but people actually get loans every single day without any credit checks. So before I jump to this video, just a quick disclaimer. This video is not a financial advice. I'm just simply sharing my experience and what worked for me. However, you are solely responsible for your own financial situation. Now, before we focus on how to get the loan without any credit checks, my suggestion, at least for the long term, would be to build good credit history, because then it's actually easier to apply for the loans. And with good credit, obviously the loans and credit lines would be on better terms. However, let's say you want to finance something and you don't necessarily have good credit, or for some reason you don't want the financial institution to do the credit check, then in this case no credit verification personal loan, for example, would be a good option. So let's talk about it. Now, if someone has undetermined credit history, let's say that person never applied for any credit, never used credit cards, never applied for any car loans, and etc. So then this individual's personal credit wouldn't really exist. Now it wouldn't actually be a bad credit, just undetermined. So then in this situation you can go to some financial company that does manual underwriting for the loans, and there is plenty of financial institutions that actually do that. Now, with that being said, there is something you have to keep in mind. Just because your credit or credit history is not gonna be checked, that doesn't mean that you will get this loan without any checks whatsoever. So instead of this institution checking your credit, they may still require some financial statements, like your weekly payroll stubs, for example, to verify your income. They may also require rental records, for example, so you still have to prove that you pay your rent on time, maybe the utilities too. And some of these companies may even ask you if you have any savings, because even though they're not checking your credit per se, but they still want to be sure that you will be able to repay the loan, of course. Now, one thing that you really have to be aware of when it comes to these no credit check loans is that most likely they will have way higher interest on these loans, so obviously it will be more difficult to pay them back. But also another important thing is to do some research, because some of these financial companies are very predatory, and that's simply because they know that people who come to them generally pretty much have bad credit, so they have limited options. So some of these companies will charge you a crazy amount of interest, and no matter what you do, make sure to read the fine print, because at the end of the day you don't want to get some loan, like payday loan for example, which can literally charge you over 300% a year. Yes, you heard that right, over 300% a year of interest. So if you do the simple math, let's say you want to buy $30,000 car and you would get that loan from payday loans, then at the end of the year, if you didn't pay any balance off yet, that car could actually cost you almost $100,000. And if you would keep that loan for even longer time, I don't even want to think about what would happen. So okay, this is it for this video, but if you're in credit card debt, check this video next. This is how we paid off $40,000 of credit cards debt, and as always, thank you for watching.